The part of your story that we're talking about today is the bad guys closing in. Hi everyone, I'm oddfud. I've been going through some different steps on how to make a really strong outline in order to write a novel really fast. I specialize, I guess, in realistic young adult fiction. These steps have proven to be very helpful for me, a planner, um, to make a really strong outline to be able to sit down and just write. The story flows, the story goes easily. Writing these steps and planning these steps in this order has helped me out a lot. And so hopefully it's going to help you out too. This month I've been sharing all of my different steps on my channel. So hopefully that will be able to help other people. Today we're going to be talking about the bad guys close in. So we've already talked about in recent videos, we've talked about the dark night of the soul and we've talked about the midpoint. This is going to connect the two. So the false high and the low low, there's going to be like little things that happen along the way that make it worse and worse and worse. We've talked about the baddest guy closing in, causing the low point, and so we've talked about that already, but now we're going to talk about all the little ones leading up to that. In the video where we talk about the fun and games, we talk about writing out all of the little scenes that you've thought about to talk about how the character gets up to the midpoint. Now we're talking about all the little scenes that you've been writing in your head that talk about how things start to go poorly for your main character. So after the false high, right away, even almost during the false high, you should right away be having kind of an eerie feeling. The midpoint is not the true high of the story. This is not the true lesson. Nothing has been learned yet. So you start to see like all the reasons why things have gone bad. So basically, you're facing your flaw over and over and over and over again as the main character. We've talked about the build up before, where you make your climactic choices, where you choose your strength over your flaw in order to get out of the low point. To get into the low point, you keep on choosing your flaw over and over and over again. So all of these bad guys from every different angle should be coming to your main character. Bad things should happen to your main character. I'm going to say it again. Bad things should happen to your main character. So the bad guys that close in can come from any sort of direction. You can get a bad grade. You can get yelled at by your parents. You can get into a car accident. You can get really sick. You can see the popular girl get something really good happen to her, like she gets a big scholarship and maybe somebody dies. All sorts of things can happen which can like kind of reflect that they haven't learned any lessons yet. I mean, sometimes it has nothing to do with the lessons they've learned or they didn't learn, but their reactions to this kind of news will show that they haven't learned their lessons, that they still have their flaw, that they're still turning towards their flaw, they're still choosing their flaw over their strengths. This is kind of like the climactic choices that we've talked about in a video before, but in reverse. Just like the climactic choices, like you have to choose the strength over and over and over again, as the bad guys close in, your main character chooses their flaw over and over and over again until they have a nothing. And that is where they find themselves in their dark night of the soul, in their crisis, in their low point. The bad guys close in should be many. There should be at least several. Especially at this point when you're just in the outlining and planning phase, you will probably have to take out some things in the writing and the editing process. So write as many bad guys as you can at this point. Every relationship that your character has, every situation your character could be in, every possible thing that can go bad to your character, make it go bad for your character, and then make them choose their flaw over and over again. Something that may be helpful for you in your writing or even in your life is sometimes things can go very poorly when you resist asking for that little bit of help that you need. So oftentimes the main character can refuse the little bit of money from a friend, or the little bit of advice, to have a conversation, which would be a 5-minute conversation that might completely change their lives. And they're refusing to do it for whatever reason, because they're choosing their flaw over and over again. You can become very resistant, and that's how you can get into a very bad place. So if you think about that for your character, then these bad guys close-in should write themselves pretty easily. So thank you so much for watching today's video. Hopefully that was helpful to understand what bad guys close-in should really entail and what it really means. If you liked this video and you're still watching, please give me a thumbs up. That helps me know that you liked it. It helps YouTube know that you like this kind of content. It helps YouTube promote this kind of content, and then that will in turn help people like me to create more content like this. If you're interested in seeing more about my writing journey, not only this month when I'm talking about writing a really strong outline, but also in the future when I get back to writing, when I start doing the very difficult task of editing and the even more socially difficult task of reaching out to agents, I would love to share that with you here, and maybe one day I'll get it published and I'd love to share that too. If you're interested in seeing anything about that, please subscribe to this channel. I would appreciate it so much if you did. And if you want to see tomorrow's video, ring that bell to be notified of it. You'll be the first to know. Tomorrow's video is about the whiff of death. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!